Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Itago. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you do not miss the videos that I post. And if you're a returning subscriber, returning viewer, I really appreciate your support and I am so excited for this relationship that we are forming, honestly. So because a lot of my channel, one of the things that I really want to do with my channel is just to talk about myself and how, I guess my channel is about myself, but I really want to embrace that whole Christian living. And one of the things I wanted to share is just a few testimonies of things that God has done for me in my life and how He just showed up at my 11th hours, at my point where I was just like, man, I do not know what's next. And today we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna take you guys all the way back to when I was in high school. High school was a struggle in terms of just like not necessarily studying. I was that smart kid in class. But do I say I was that smart kid? But apart from that, I think the thing that I had going for me in high school really was just that I had very supportive friends, I had a very supportive family, I was doing great in my grades. But the thing was, it was just really hard to pay tuition and to pay the boarding fees. You know, it wasn't much a year. Like looking back, it was maybe like about $400 a year. But I don't come from a rich family. Yeah, surprise. It was very hard when I was in high school just to be able to pay school fees every single month, every single semester. And sometimes I'd get sent home to go get fees when like the school is just like, girl, okay honey, this is too much. You need to go talk to your parents, tell them to get their eyes together and to bring money. So I'd go home and I'd stay home for like 2 weeks. So when I come back after 2 weeks, I come back and let's say we have a test in 2 days and I do better than everyone in the class. They're like, oh, you're so annoying. You literally just take vacations. You go home whenever you want to. When they send you for fees, you just go, and instead of coming back the next day like everyone else, you take 2 weeks because you know you're just gonna come back and be like, I'm a bitch you all. But really, I stayed home because really we didn't have anything to get me back to school. So that's just a little bit background of how my high school was, at least in terms of affording school. And one of the ways God really showed up for me, I remember when the first semester when I was trying to go to high school, we didn't have anything. Me and my mom, we had nothing. So I've been raised mostly by my mother. She's a single parent, and also by the rest of my family members, my aunts. I've lived with them for so many years of my life. And then when I finished class 8, I did really well. I was a top performer from my school. I got into high school after I finished KCPE, but I didn't really have money to take me, and I think it was about like 10,000 or 15,000 shillings, which is like $150. But my mom really couldn't make that money, and so for a week I was just like, okay, next week is when high school starts, and right now I really don't have a way. I mean, I was like 13 years old. I can't like go and work somewhere. I don't know, like I was just like, God, like, is this how my education is gonna end? Like all my potential, all the work I've put in through primary school. So you know what I decided to do? I fasted for 3 days. But it wasn't like those, Jesus kind of fast. I was just like, I'm just gonna do this. I don't know what fasting is. That was the first time that I fasted. And when I was fasting, I'd just be telling God, really, I need you to show me that you're doing something and you're gonna provide for my school fees. So I fasted, and I think I did it for 2 days, and then the third day I was just like, man, I can't fast anymore. So I broke my fast after 2 days. But surprisingly, this is why I believe in God looking at our hearts and seeing the sincerity of the things that we do. the third day, the quote-unquote day I was supposed to end my fast, like my uncle calls me and he's like, hey Winnie, no, you have to go to school, you have to go to school. So he literally just dishes out all the money that I need to go do my shopping, to pay for my first semester school fees, to buy like those masanduku, those boxes that everyone used to take to high school. Like I just sat down and I thought, oh my god, like this is my 11th hour. Next week I'm going to school on Monday. It's a Wednesday this week, and all of a sudden, like, all the money I needed is provided. Like, that was my first glance of what fasting can do, of what prayer can do in my life, and I really thank God that He provided for me in that way. The second thing, now after I finished high school, I had a balance of about 60,000 Kenyan shillings. Still not a lot of money when I think about it right now, $600, but I was just fresh out of high school. I didn't have a job. My mom was still trying to establish herself, and I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna finish paying all this money. And this is where I really empathize with people who are in the US and you have like college debt and you're trying to like figure out how you're paying that, because I was at a point where I'm just like, okay, iyo yote itatoka wapi? And when so my mom, whenever she'd come to visit us, I was in boarding school, as I've mentioned. I went to St. Anne's Girls High School, yay! So she'd come for visiting days, and during visiting days they give you like this slip that has your fee balance on it. And then my mom is that woman that prays fast. Like you'll find her in Katoloni, which is like a prayer place. She stays there for like 40 days just drinking water. Like, yo, props to her. So she goes, she prays and everything. Then she comes and visits me, and we're seated, we're having a conversation. I tell her, oh, I was told to give you this by the bazaar. And then it shows my fee balance, and she's like, I command the angels from the north, the west, the east, the south to come and provide for this money in Jesus' name. Me, I just be looking at her like, okay. What are these angels? We need to be practical over here. 60,000 is not going to drop from the sky. We have to find a way to make this money. And why I really appreciate her as a woman in my life, as a prayer warrior, like I saw it literally unfold in my eyes. So my final semester in high school, the principal called me. I was the deputy head girl. Cops. So I was going to the administration block, and then the principal calls me and she's like, hey Itago, come here. Did the bazaar tell you? I was like, tell me what? And then she says, oh, that's unfortunate, she didn't tell you. So some person just came and said that we have 40,000 shillings. We want you to give to whoever you want to give, and don't tell them that it's me who's given this money. I want to be anonymous. You guys decide whoever you want to give. And so the principal, they just deliberated, and then they decided that they're gonna give it to me. I was like, what? Like, and then my mom's words came into my head. The angels from like the north, east, south, west, they will come and provide. Like, I was just like, oh my god. Like, it's literally like, I don't, like, till now I think I'm just like, if I knew who that person was, like, I would just go and just like, yo, bless you, bless all the blessings from all good generations upon you. You know, and that's how 40,000 of that 60K was paid. So now I had 20,000 left. So by the time I was graduating high school, I had the 20,000 that I still needed to pay, and then the KCSE results came out and had done really well. I was the top girl in my district, and I was excited. But the thing with graduation and test results and everything, after one day, reality hits you. Then you realize, okay, you need money to go to campus, you need money to do all these things, you need to figure out your life. And then I was like, okay, I still have 20K I have to pay in my high school, because otherwise I can't get my transcripts, I can't get my certificate, I can't get nothing. So I just started thinking, where am I going to get this 20K? And then one of my friends from high school, and she called me, she was like, hey Itago, oh my gosh, like have you seen how we performed? Like we both performed really well. And she was just like, yeah, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna go get my results slip, like when are you going? And I was like, I don't think I'll go, I'll just wait. And she was like, huh, why? So I explained to her the situation. I was like, I don't really have any money and I haven't finished my fees. So she's like, oh, okay, I pray God provides. Okay, then we finish the conversation. She hangs up, and then I'm just doing my thing. She calls me back and she's like, hey Tago, my mom wants to talk to you. The mom's talking to me. Hi, oh my gosh, like, oh, like I heard my daughter explained to me what happened with you, why you cannot get your results slip. And I was like, yeah, that's the situation and it's okay, I know God is gonna provide. And she's like, well, because my daughter really performed well, we want to give back to God in Thanksgiving, and we've decided to give you 10,000 shillings to go towards paying your school fees. I was like, what? Like, how? I don't deserve this at all. I don't. And yet, me of all people, like, she could have given thanks in anyway. She could have given that money to the church, to other like kids. I'm pretty sure the people who didn't have a roof over their head, who probably needed that 10K more than I thought I did. But it was specifically me. And then my mom's words again came into my head: the angels of the Lord will locate you. So 50K was paid, I still had 10K. And then so the 10K, how finally I paid that off was I was chosen to join Equity Leaders Program, which is part of the Equity Bank in Kenya, and they select the top girl and the top boy in every district to work with the bank. And I was the top girl in the district. So because I was selected to go work with the bank, my first salary, I was like, first thing I went to school and I was like, I have paid it all off. And when I got my KCSE certificate, I was just like, oh my God, I finally did it. And I did not do it by my own strength. I did it because really God made it a story, a testimony, that I can just sit back and think, and I'm just like, no, that was nothing that I did by my own strength. So why am I telling you all these stories? Yeah, of course, to bless God and everything, but also just to encourage someone out there. If you're in that situation where you're at your 11th hour point, you do not know what's going on, you do not know how you're gonna maybe like get your next food or your next rent, or you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills. You know, America's got a lot of bills. Like, there's a lot of things going on and coming at you, and you're just like, I need these things to stop. I just want to encourage you that God, I know from experience, and I have God is very personal to me. If you're at a place where you're wavering or not believing in God, at least believe in Itago's God, because he's been very real to me. He's shown me just how much, if I trust in him, if I put my heart, like I fasted, I was supposed to fast for 3 days, I did 2, and he still did it, you know. So if your heart is in it, if your mind is in it, if your whole being in it is in it, then he for sure will show up and he will bless you. Okay, so just hang in there, okay? I'm holding it for, I'm doing this with you. Let's all do this and just like hang in there, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this testimony time. I'm gonna be sharing a lot more testimonies in my channel, because my life is just testimony after testimony, because bad things happen in life. So what has happened in your life that you're just like, oh wow, like this is crazy, this is not me? Leave it in the comment section. I'll be interacting with you guys there, and like lifting hands with you and just like thanking God, thanking the heavens with you. So until the next video, I'll see you next time. Bye.